Now, I also want to ask you about this breaking news this afternoon, the report by the ABC that the Albanese government has granted temporary visas to 860 Palestinians between October 7 and November 20th, so after the terror attacks. You know, this at a time when we're already having serious problems with social cohesion on our streets. We're seeing an explosion in anti-Semitism. How important is it that the government gets the security checks right and does them properly?
Well, it's vitally important, and frankly, I'm concerned at the way this has been announced. I haven't seen a statement from the Immigration Minister. I haven't seen a statement from the Home Affairs Minister. This has come from the Department of Home Affairs in response to a media inquiry. It's not clear what sort of visas these people have been granted. Are they temporary visitor visas, the subclass 600? Are they temporary protection visas? Are they a form of humanitarian visa? And that begs the next question is what sort of security checks are these people going through? Because Hamas, like any terrorist group, is disappearing into the civilian population. They'll be putting on civilian clothes, they'll be putting down their weapons, and those of them who are choosing to flee will be getting out. And just as we were very careful when we took a large caseload, rightly so, of refugees from Syria when Islamic State was running rampant there in doing security checks on those people, so we must absolutely be careful in all the security checks we do here to make sure that we're not unwittingly importing people who are Hamas fighters or loyal to Hamas, and we don't want people who will bring grievances against the Jewish community here to Australia and further stoke anti-Semitism.
And there is that propaganda that's run in many of the Palestinian territories against Israel. You know, people are bred to hate Israel.
Look, it's unfortunately true that in the education systems, but also the government communications of a lot of the Palestinian territories, they're taught that Israel has no right to exist, that the Jewish people have no right to be there, that the Jewish people, they're taught versions of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, if you remember that famous anti-Semitic text of over 100 years ago. And so, look, I mean, if these are people genuinely fleeing conflict who don't have any ties to Hamas, they don't have any antipathies towards Australia or Australian citizens, of course we should be giving them refuge and safe harbour. But I think the government needs to be upfront here with us about exactly the sort of criteria they're putting on this, exactly the sort of visa they're issuing, and is the intent for these people, once they're here in Australia, to be granted permanent protection status. I mean, this is what the government should be telling us, but at the moment, none of their ministers are visible on this issue.
All right, Dave Sharma, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for your time.